Hallelujah.
Let me stay there. Thank you, Jesus. Let me stay there.
Thank you, Lord. Right.
You want to see the world change?
Well,
Sisters, excuse me, but I dare to believe when the fathers decide to serve God.
yes, yes. Hallelujah.
I know sisters have been doing all this and all that. Thank God for you. But when the head of the house is actually in the house and he decides to serve God and stand in the place where God has called him to be as the man of the house, everything has got to get in line.
Yes, sir.
Feminists don't have to like it, but guess what? It's the truth. He said, what do I need to do? They said, believe and be baptized. And guess what? This is the part that I like best. The jailer took Paul and Silas out of the jail.
Well,
Don't miss that. I might not even get to these points like that, but don't miss it. He took them out of the jail.
well,
Took them to his house.
well, Jesus.
Now remember, they were beaten on the way to jail. They were in jail for stuff they did not do.
Well,
So the next thing that happened, he had his servants what? Clean up their wounds. And then they went ahead, baptized him, the whole house. Then after that, they got together, they ate some chicken, and shouted because the jailer got saved.
well, hallelujah.
Maybe I just need to walk through the text. Is that all right? I think, thank you, Lord. I'll just walk through the text today.
Help yourself.
If you want to get to the points, come back Wednesday.
Help yourself.
The text speaks for itself. The man said, I'm going to get saved.
Well,
He and the whole house got saved. He and the whole house got baptized. He and the whole house changed their view. And they all shouted because the jailer made the decision. Now, that's good, but the reason the jailer was able to make a decision like that was because there were some diplomats of the kingdom in his jail. Remember what I said before? Diplomats, ambassadors have shrunk. God kept Paul and Silas in the midst of unjust imprisonment and kept them in the midst of the chaos. God's not going to let things happen to you when you have an assignment. So they hanging out all night.
well,
They done shouted all night.
well, Jesus.
They done shouted all the way to the wee hours of the morning.
Yes.
Some of y'all know about partying to the wee hours of the morning. Stumbling in after you'd have had a good old time.
Well, Jesus.
Well, morning came. The magistrate said, you know what? You let these brothers go. They really didn't do anything. Tell the jailer to let them go. Here comes a political cover-up. Just get them out of there and tell them to go in peace. Go in peace. Or like church folk, let me distinguish. Like church folk, not saved folk, but church folk say, you know, they done talk about you behind your back and they'll say, God bless you. I said, I'm distinguishing, there's a difference between it. Saved folk don't do that to you, the church folk will do it to you in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Hallelujah.
So there was about to be a cover-up. Let them go, let them go, let them go. Just shh.
Hallelujah.
But Paul, this is probably the most Paul ever ever said, like, personally. Look what he said. He replied, they have beaten us in public, uncondemned men, and here comes the kicker, who are Roman citizens. Oh yeah, that scared the whole political regime to death. Why? Remember what I said. If you're a citizen of a kingdom, then guess who has control over everything in your existence? Whoever is the head.
Yes, sir.
So if they treated a Roman citizen wrong, it gets back to the emperor. It gets all the way back to the top. It doesn't go to the mayor, to a governor in the province. No, it goes all the way to the top. You didn't give me a fair trial. You beat me in public. And you think for 1 second I'm going to go quiet? No. You tell them if they want us to leave, that they got to come here.
Yes, sir.
See what happens when you know who you are? You're not going to settle for any old thing from anybody. That's not being braggadocious, prideful, or anything else. You just will not accept anything. When anybody tries to demean your humanity, you don't have to accept it. I'm reminded of a few years back in history when there were some people that were called boy, this, that, and the other, and they refused to accept it to the point they were willing to die to have their dignity acknowledged. Ain't that in the book? Paul was not going to be treated like some chump. Said, do you know who I am? I'm a citizen of Rome. I might be a Jew, but I'm a citizen of this realm. And you're not going to treat me any old kind of way. And look what happened. Stay in the text. The police reported these words to the magistrates, and they were afraid when they heard they were Roman citizens. Notice what Paul didn't do. He didn't threaten anybody. He just said who he was. He didn't have to say, I'm going to perform a miracle on somebody. I'm going to over-spiritualize the situation. He said, do you have any idea who I am? I'm protected by the government that you're a part of. And the magistrates got scared.